Reina, tell me what are the different types of commands, SQL categories?
Ma'am, like DDL, TCL, DS, DCL, and DML.
So what is the full form of DDL, Amalraj?
And data definition language.
DDL, very good. Meghna, DML,
Data manipulation language.
Elvina, DCL,
Data control language.
Anjo, TCL,
Transaction control language.
So these are the different types of SQL categories. Now let's see what is it? What is DDL? So in that definition, in the full form, it is data definition language. Okay. So you know that in RDBMS, the data is stored in the form of tables, isn't it? In the form of tables. So in order to save the data in the table, we need to create a table. We need to insert the values. So the operation that we are going to do in a table, or if you want to add a new column after creating the table, if you want to drop the column, these kinds of commands are coming under DDL. Understood? Donna? Table creation, table alteration, not inserting the values, table creation, table insertion, table alteration, and deletion of table. These commands are coming under Reina, coming under
DDL.
DDL. Okay, so don't forget DDL. Clear? So you can note it down. Next comes the DML. Data manipulation. What can be data manipulation? Manipulation means it is not doing anything on the table structure, the entering data into the table, updating data, deleting data, selecting the data. So the operations that we do on the data, not on the table structure, these commands are coming under DML. Okay. So what is DML commands? It is data manipulation language. So manipulation means it can be adding the data into the table. It can be deleting the data in the table. It can be updating data, and it can be selecting the data. Clear, Vibhor? So Meghna, tell me what are DML commands?
It is a data manipulation language. It can be entering data, updating data, and deleting data.
So they are called DML commands. So DDL means we are doing something on the table structure. We are not dealing with the table data. So if we are creating the table or deleting the table or altering the table, altering means if you want to add a new column, if you want to change the data type, then these type of commands are coming under DDL. DML means data manipulation. When you manipulate the data, examples, inserting data, deleting data, updating data, they are coming under data manipulation. Now let's see next one, DCL. So DCL full form is Atul? DCL full form.
Data control language.
Okay, data control language. So you know that in a bank, there will be manager, there will be different other employees like cashier, clerk. So you know that when you are taking your account, then you will be able to see only your account details. Can you be able to see some others account details, Amalraj? No, right? If you use an app or even if you use an ATM card, you will be able to see only your data, your account details. But what about a manager? Manager will be seeing that branch manager can see the different account details of that particular branch customers, isn't it? So is the data control. Who has to access the data? Who should update the data? So these kinds of things are, these kinds of commands are coming under data control language. So controlling the language, controlling the tables. There are two commands. One is grant. Grant means grant the permission. Revoke means take back the permission. All right. These are the two commands mainly used in DCL. The last command is TCL. TCL stands for Transaction Control Language. Just imagine Vidur wants to transfer money, some 10,000 rupees to Adul's account. Okay. And he took the app and he took the details and withdraw money. He has done that. He has returned 10,000. Click OK. Finally, submission happened. Then suddenly, the software, your mobile got crashed, or your particular application got crashed. And Vigal called Adul that, and he told whether you get the money or not, can you just check? Then Adul told, no, I haven't got the money in my account. But what about Vidur? From Vidur's account, that money got withdrawn. So is it a consistent database? Is it a consistent application? If it happens, will you take the, you will go to the bank and you will file a case against the bank and you will cancel your account in that bank. Remember that should not happen. So when we are sending money, so or even in a online Amazon, if you are paying the money, so it should be complete. The transaction is called transaction. So it should, when you transfer money from Vidur's account to Adul's account, it should get transferred to Adul's account, and from Vidur's account, it should be reduced, deducted. So you get a message in your mobile, Adul will get a message in. If it is not happening, then if your app crashes, then what should happen? If your app crashes, everything should be cancelled, isn't it? Vidur's account, the status should be going back to the original status. Okay, that is very important. So it is called a transaction. When you transfer money from one account to another, then it is called a transaction. So when you take money from ATM, it's called a transaction. When you do a transaction, it should be complete. It should not stop in between. It should be complete. Understood? Either it should be complete or no transaction. Cancel. So no problem. Still in Vidur's account, Vidur's money is there, Adul's account, it's not yet transferred. That's okay. But it should not happen like from Vidur's account, 10,000 money is lost, and Adul's account, it has to be changed. So in order to do this transaction successfully, we have two commands. That two commands are coming under transaction control language. First one is commit. Commit the transaction means there will be a command running, COMMIT, commit. Commit means the transaction will execute successfully. Next command is rollback. Rollback means since something happened in between, so automatically one rollback command will execute, that is, it will go back to the original position. Status will be going back to the original position. Clear? So you don't have to study about DCL and TCL. You will be studying only DDL and DDL. I just told you what is it. Clear? So let's see what is it. Data definition language. What is it? It allows to create database objects like creating a table, view, or any other database objects. It can be creating a table or creating a database. And one more thing, two terms are here. One is data dictionary and one is metadata. What is a dictionary? Vishma, what is a dictionary?
A set of items, a data type enclosed in flower brackets.
Dictionary. I'm just asking you about a normal dictionary. Why we use a dictionary?
To search for meanings and
Yes,
definitions.
so here the word is data dictionary. Data dictionary means, suppose you have created 10 tables in a database, 10 tables. So if you have created 10 tables in a database and you want to know how many tables I created, then these information about the data, tables and all, it will be stored in one place. That place is called data dictionary. The hard disk is inside the database. And that data is called metadata. Metadata means data about the data. Data means whatever tables you are created and which are the different tables. So data about data is called metadata. So this metadata will be stored in a place. That place is called as data dictionary. Okay. The different commands in DDL are create, alter, drop. Create is used to create. Alter is used to do some changes. Drop is used to delete. Okay. Next comes our DML commands. DML commands are used to retrieve information, insert new values, modify data, delete the data. So it is doing all the operations on the data. That is the speciality of DML commands. This is not needed. Different commands are select, insert, update, and delete. Different DML commands are select, insert, update, and delete. Now, TCL commands. TCL means transaction control language. The different transaction control commands are, you have to study on details, commit and rollback. So why we use this? It ensures that the database never contains the result of partial operations. Whenever we do a transaction, it should be a complete transaction. If anything fails, it should roll back to restore the database to the original state. So see this example. The example is transfer of money from one account to another account. And the transaction, you don't have to study this, but for information, any transaction should have an ACID property. ACID means atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. The different commands you need to learn it's only two. So you can have a question, what are the different SQL categories? So you can write the full form. Then it allows you to execute a MySQL operations to ensure that database never contains the result of partial operations. That example you can write, comment. Here, DCL is data control language. DCL is not given here. DCL is data control language. It is used to control the transfer. It is used to control the permissions. You can write down. It is used to control the permissions. There are two commands. One is grant, G-R-A-N-T. Next one is revoke, R-E-V-O-K-E.
Ma'am, can you repeat once more the command for DCL?
DCL is data control language. It is used to control the permissions. There are two commands. One is grant, other one is revoke. R-E-V-O-K. Revoke. Krishna and Joe, turn on the video. Now over to you, people. I did not forget it. Warranty, right?
I'm going to take a seminar on foreign key. Foreign key it is a non-key attribute whose value is derived from a primary key of the under table. And this foreign key is used to create a relationship between two tables. These two tables, one is child table and the other is primary parent table. The child table is the table from where the values will be derived from the primary key of the under table. A foreign key which is a child table is the place where the values will be goes from a primary table of the under table to one place, and this table is known as child table, and it is performs referential integrity, so that if we delete accidentally some like any record, we can take it back and it will never get deleted. For when we are for applying this referential integrity, the master table column is primary key or has a unique index. The related fields have to be of same data type, and both table must be of same database. And we have some rules. So one is you cannot enter a value which is not there in the child table in the parent table if we get matched. and you can also you cannot also delete or modify the record. This is about the foreign key. That's all.
Very good. Why all are looking like this? And so you have prepared well, so you will not forget this, right? We thought.
I know, ma'am.
Okay, that is what when I'm giving you seminars, so it's good for you. Okay, so you will never forget this particular thing. So any doubt in this particular chapter? That is one chapter, database concepts. Any doubts regarding that? Anthony, Pavitra, Vidya? Shall we move to the next chapter? Next chapter, write down the heading as DML commands. DML commands and structured query language. DML commands and structured query. No, don't write DML command, just write SQL. Just write SQL. So we'll be doing both DML and TDL here. So I have told you in all RDBMS we use a standard language. That language is called as SQL, structured query language. So this structured query language we are dividing into DDL, DML, DCL, TCL, isn't it? Isn't it? We divide it. Now, anybody of you downloaded the MySQL, Meenakshi? Installed? Configuration is over? Okay. So let's see the first one. Before doing this, let's see what are the different MySQL elements. Like we have seen in Python. Python has tokens, literals, etc. The same way we have literals, data types, nulls, comments. What is a literal, Grishma? What is a literal? In Python, what is a literal? Reena, literal. Constant.
Then
Data, good. Data type means type of data, isn't it? Then we have comments also, in Python. Here also there are comments. Then one extra thing is there that is called nulls. We'll see what is a null. So literals, same as your Python. It means fixed value, constant value. It can be a character literal, numeric literal, or date type. So one extra data type is here, that is date. We don't have this data type in Python. This is date time. And date time values, date is in this format. It is not like our normal date format. Year first, month second, date third. You need to enter in this way. Okay. Then what is the data type? Type of data. Type of data and the operations. So MySQL supports numeric data type, date and time data type, string data type, like we studied in Python. Numeric, date and time. This is an extra data type. Date and time, string. The different date and time, numeric data types are: one is int. MySQL is not case sensitive. You can write either small letters or capital letters. Int. It supports maximum 11 digits if you write int. Now we have tiny int, 0 to 255. If you're writing something like enter the roll number, enter the age. So you don't have to use 11 digits, isn't it, Reina? We need maximum 2 digits or 3 digits. So you can use tiny int. If you do in that way, you won't be having any wastage of money. For this, we are writing a big data, int we can write. Then we have next one a small int. There is no space between tiny int, small int. It supports 5 digits. Medium int, 9 digits. Big int, 11 digits. This int and this big int are almost same. Then real numbers. If you need to use pointer values, you have 2 data types. One is float, next one is double. This M stands for decimal part, D stands for, M stands for integer part, D stands for decimal part. If you write float 8,2, then what's the meaning of this? 8, maximum 8 integer values and 2 decimal points it supports. Clear? M specify length of numeric value. D means decimal part. Double, the same way. Maximum, you can write 53 decimal parts. So double is bigger than float. Both supports decimal values. Next one is date. Date is a data type. YYMMDD. Date time. So you can write both date and time together. Hour, minute, second. Timestamp. It is again similar to date time, but it will be stored in this way without any calls, full colons and all. Time, separate data type we have to store the time in the format HH, MM, SS. And year in bracket M means it will extract year. There's a function. Okay. Now clear? Okay. So there are a string data type. String type, there are two data types. One is char and another one is varchar. So you have to study only char and varchar. Char means char in bracket m. M means the length. The maximum length possible is 255. If you want to store a name, address, etc., then you can use this data type. If I use char in bracket 3, it supports maximum 3 characters. Clear? The same thing will happen here also, varchar m. Only difference is that one is called fixed length string, second one is variable length string. What is this fixed length string? Suppose I'm declaring a data type as for name char in bracket 20, and I wrote only Evelyn. So what happens to the rest of the bytes? Evelyn name contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 only. But I declared it as 20. So what will happen to the rest 14 bytes? It will be a wastage, isn't it, Evelyn?
Yes.
Okay. So that's where it comes varchar. Varchar means if I declare it as varchar in bracket 20, and if I used only 6 characters, the rest of the 14 characters will be freed. Okay, allocation will get freed. So only problem is with varchar is varchar a little bit slow because it has to find out the length of the data the user has entered, and it has to free the unused bytes. So it is a little bit slower than char. That's why varchar is called as variable length string. So memory won't be wasted if you use varchar data type. Clear? Difference between char and varchar. One is fixed length string. It's an important question for you. Fixed length string, variable length string. It is used where number of characters to enter is fixed. If the question is, if the data is grade, you know that your grade only consists of two characters, isn't it? A1, A2, A3, B1, B2. So it won't be having 3 characters. So directly, if that kind of things, if grade is the option, then directly you write char in bracket 2. So there won't be any wastage of memory. If you are entering name, address, and all, we don't know what will be the length of the string the user is going to enter. In that case, you can use varchar. Yeah. One is fast, second one is slow. Char takes more memory, varchar takes less memory. The last one is null. Null means nothing, missing information. Okay. Null is not equal to 0, or it is not equal to space. Space means there is a space. Null means nothing. Oh, this one is second last. One more thing is the letter commands. Last one is comments. Comments, like in your Python also there will be comments. The same way, here also there is comment. So the same, exactly same as Python. It starts with a hash, single line comment, or it starts with two hyphens. Two hyphens. Okay, these are two hyphens, not single hyphen, two hyphens. So you can write the comments in different ways in MySQL. Either it starts with hash or it starts with two hyphens. Multi-line command starts with slash, star, and ends with star slash. So don't get confused. Both the stars should be inside. Slash here, slash here. So there are three ways you can write a command. Either two hyphens, or you can start with hash or slash star and star slash. Is that clear to you? Topics are very simple, right? Isn't it, Anthony? So simple. If you study, it will be very simple. Otherwise, it will be very difficult. So what are the different MySQL components, Anthony? Components of MySQL.
Literals,
Literals.
literals, data type, numeric, string,
String. Data types, then comments, nulls, isn't it? So that's all for today. Let's see the other things in the next class. Okay. Bye. Thank you.